It is 6:30, and we're calling our Elgin City Council meeting to order. It is April the 2nd, 2024, and we're going to begin with Callahan.
Callahan here.
Dennis here.
Frazier here. McShann here.
Kasnovsky here.
Gibson here.
Swain here.
Love here.
Okay, and we do not have Rodriguez here, and didn't get a clear reason of why not, so I'm going to suggest that we do not approve it. Absence not approved. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I guess I won't begin with myself. I'll begin with Love.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Frazier, yes.
McShann, yes?
Kasnovsky, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes.
Okay. And we will have our invocation.
Is it?
Oh,
No, you're good. All right. Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we gather here today, let us invoke wisdom, compassion, and fruitful, our decisions just, and our actions in service of the common good. Let us approach this meeting with open minds, respectful dialogue, and a shared commitment to the betterment of our community. Amen.
amen. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We've got a full house tonight, so just come right on in, and we've got seats up front. Everybody's in the Baptist church tonight, I guess. Sit in the back. All right, we have anything for public hearing?
Yeah, we've got public hearing.
No. Do we have anything? I don't have a, oh, we did. Okay. Gotcha. All right, we have a public hearing on an ordinance of the city of Elgin, Texas to modify an existing planned development district, ordinance 2022111537, to add 10 acres of land located on parcels of land known by the Travis County Appraisal District as parcels 248220 and 248234, located on the east side of Ploss Lane and west of the existing 49.93 acre north side meadows, PPD being more particularly described in Exit A, and providing for a savings clause and repealing conflicting ordinances and resolutions. Tom?
Thank you, Mayor. This is an item for public hearing that we actually have 3 action items relative to this item. City Council previously approved a planned development district for what at one time was known as Railhead and is now called Northside Meadows. This, you may recall this drawing, but the developers have since purchased an additional 10 acres adjacent to the development and are simply adding it to the approved planned development district zoning to that development here this evening. This is for public hearing on any comments relative to that.
And I think the, what that is, the comment that- okay, so all the council members should have a email in front of you from Diane Dunigan. She wasn't able to be here, but she sent in her comments. Is there anyone in the audience who wants to speak? Nobody has signed up. So, going once, going twice, it's probably gone.
But not on this.
But not on this. I only have one
Not
for
on-
Relay for Life.
This is public hearing. We're still in that.
Okay.
We're going to close the public hearing.
I'm confused.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Nobody there? Okay, public hearing is closed.
And now public comments.
And now we have public comments. And for our public comment item on the agenda is reserved for members of the public who would like to address the city council regarding posted agenda items or non-agenda items. Individuals requesting to speak or address the city council during this meeting shall do so under the public comment agenda item. Speakers shall be required to fill out a public form, and you have a timed 3 minutes to speak. And where is Krista? There she is.
3 minutes? Keep her at 3 minutes?
I'll get him later.
Good evening, council members. And Mayor, happy to see you all here tonight. I am here in my relay hat to just give you a great big welcome and encourage you to come out on April 13th, where we will be coming together to celebrate, support, remember, and fight back. We're fighting back against stupid cancer. We are remembering people stolen too soon. It gets me every single time. I've been doing this since 2007. It gets me every single time. But Relay Luau is happening at Millie's and here on the grounds of City Hall, and it is happening on the 13th. It starts off the day with a 5K that's happening at the ACC Elgin Trailhead, and going through, it's a fun run. There is not a charge to participate, but we sure would like a donation. Then we have the actual Relay Luau that is happening from 6 to 10 here. That will have fundraisers on site. It is a free, family-friendly event. We will have a silent auction to end all silent auctions. We will have ceremonies that are designed to touch your heart while you remember that nobody has to fight cancer alone. And then at the end of the night, there's actually going to be a karaoke contest down the road. So we have things happening all day long. Relay event itself has gone to the Eagle brand version, sweetened and condensed, but because of the love and the support of this community, we've gone back to an all day. I'm just not in charge of it all. Yay! So just wanted to say thank you all again for your support and give you that invitation.
Angela, is mom here? Okay, so we're gonna move right along. Daughter-in-law's here, mom is not, so we'll go ahead to our manager's report. Ms. Ward isn't here yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mayor. We've got a few items on the manager's report to update the council on. The first is some really good news that we wanted to share with the council and the public regarding a project that has come forward and has been reviewed by staff and the Planning Commission that involves a 60-acre development for retail and commercial development, something that we know the council and it's probably the number one thing I hear from folks. When are we going to get restaurants? When are we going to get more stores? When are we going to get those kind of amenities here in the city? So we're excited about this project that developers purchase land that fronts on 290. I've kind of drawn up this concept. This is the concept plan for the development. It's just to give y'all some landmarks. It's on the other side of where Whataburger and Aviators will be and where the Ascension Health Clinic is. As you can see from this concept plan, these are all pad sites out front that'll be for restaurants and different commercial retail establishments. This is obviously designed as a hotel site on this location, and then at the back you can see these will all be commercial buildings, a couple big box opportunities back here. This roadway will be a continuation of the existing Lee Dildy Drive that the city has built here. We'll loop around and connect to the new road now we're building down south here by Car Lane and create great circulation for traffic in this area. But we're excited about this project moving forward. The staff has done all its preliminary review. We're down to the final details of our planned development district development agreement, this is a project that'll be inside the city limits. But we do these planned development district zoning so that there's a specific commitment from the developer about what they're gonna build and how they're gonna build it. Now, that doesn't mean I can tell anybody, any stores or restaurants that are coming. The developer has certainly named some names, but it wouldn't be appropriate for us to do that. But this is a project that the zoning change will come back to council probably next month for their formal approval. The planning commission has already reviewed this plan and given its approval for the project. And it's important to understand that as we seek out projects like this for commercial and retail development, approvals like this from the city for zoning and general site plan approval is basically the full extent of what the city does to bring the restaurants we want, to bring the retail businesses we want to come to town. It'll now be up to the developer to make those connections and bring those businesses here. But they're excited about coming to Elgin. We're excited about having them here. And we just wanted to share this good news with everybody so they know a great project like this is coming, and it speaks to what I think we've heard from all our citizens, that we want to see more here. So our growth is driving this this location as a potential development site for something like this, and we actually think this probably will be just the start of other commercial development like this we'll see in the future. So just for information tonight, let you all know what's coming. The actual vote of the city council will probably be in the middle of May, an upcoming council meeting.
Madam Mayor, I have a point of clarification. This land here, after we posted it on the website, there's been a lot of discussion about it being Seton land. And I just want to clarify that this is not Seton land, it's actually on the other side of our business park. Is that true?
That's correct. I mean, there clearly has been some strange misinformation put out about this, but just to make it clear that this project has nothing to do with Seton. It's not connected with Seton or Ascension Health. It's not connected with the city's development agreement with Seton. Seton has not sold any of their land. The 15 acres that we'd set aside for Seton for medical facilities has to be used for medical facilities. They can't sell that land to another developer. So, yes, that's correct. There's nothing about this project that has anything to do with Seton. And I'd just say that this is all good. There's nothing remotely negative about this information we're sharing tonight. It's responsive to what people want. It has no impact one way or the other on our agreement with Seton. And it certainly doesn't involve any of their property. They're not a party to this agreement in any way.
Thank you.
Can I, just clarifying, so is the gray is the retail? Or, I'm sorry, is the commercial development?
This here?
No. Yep,
Here, yeah.
around the parking lot.
This is basically, you can see it closer, this will be basically a retail mall, like with.
Right.
These are all stores.
Okay.
As you can see in their design, this is a pretty big one here, and this is a pretty big one over here. So those could accommodate what I think we think of big boxes. But again, what exactly gets built, that'll be up to the developer and who else he can get to come out here. But it'll both be this retail in the back, be a pretty classic retail in the back, but a number of pad sites out front.
Okay, that was my question. I guess the green pad versus
The green.
the gray.
Would basically be individual pad sites for standalone buildings, like standalone restaurants.
Okay.
That'll be, so looks like there's about 5 of those there. And then this part will just open up to a parking area.
And then I see there's like a green pad in the circle, and there's a line. Is there something already planned for that? If you
No,
go,
where?
if you go south, well, south of what the hotel pad site is?
Oh, this green pad?
Yeah.
No, I guess I don't know why that's green.
Okay.
Exactly. Again, it's important to understand that the concept plan.
Oh, yeah,
and-
no, I
and-
think when I first looked at it, I didn't realize the gray, so I was looking at the green and couldn't understand why the parking was so far from the green, but now I understand that the
Okay.
gray,
No, but it's a good.
Just color
but it's-
challenged, apparently.
It's a challenge with these things to, again, we want to share this information with folks as soon as we get it. But exactly how, what'll get built where has a lot to do with what prospects we see come to town. But obviously, this is designed to maximize the use of the property. Parking's always a challenge, but this has the required number of parking lots to accommodate the things I talked about. So the developer's very upbeat about this project. I can tell you, we've heard from different people about hotel projects, so I think we must be on some kind of list as a good location for that. So it doesn't surprise me, we're seeing that in this as well.
Bo, can I get you to pull a few more chairs out so we can make sure everybody's sitting down? Thank you, sir.
there's one right here in
And we
front.
do have one in the front. Nobody wants to sit in the front. Okay?
Come on, Byron, come on.
Okay. All right, let's move along. We have our,
Keep going, or
yeah,
you
we can keep going for
want,
right
you
now.
want to do?
We'll skip this. Do that at the end.
All right.
And then we'll just keep going.
All right. So, next item on our agenda is we have a presentation tonight to be made by, is Krista going to do this yet? The staff, the chamber, downtown business owners, our Main Street board and staff have worked together on a proposal to create a social district in the historic downtown area, and Chris is going to help explain that tonight. Tonight is for the presentation to actually enact this depot district. It does take formal action by the council later, but we're not voting on anything tonight. We're just here to present the idea. So just tell me when to move the slides.
I will. So you have that, hello, long time no see.
like your
Right
hat,
now,
by the way.
I'm back, I'm still Krista Lee Marks, but now I've taken off my relay hat and I have put on my Main Street Board President hat, because I am very, very proud to stand before you in that role. Not only am I proud of that, I'm a very proud Elgin citizen of the last more than 50 years. I have a deep love for our town, specifically our downtown, as excited as I am about all that stuff happening on the highway, y'all. Downtown is where it's at, and that's what we're here to talk about today. You do have a packet that's in front of you, and I'm not going to walk you through all of the slides, and I'm not going to read them to you. What I want to talk to you about tonight is the why, and the reason behind this motion being, or this idea being presented to you today. Have you ever been to Fredericksburg, or Georgetown on the Square, or Taylor on 2nd Street, or any of those places? So when you're there, did it feel family friendly? I'm gonna say yes. Did you feel safe? Mm-hmm. Did you maybe spend some money? Yes, I know I do. Whenever I'm in those places are sister cities in the fact that they have downtown social districts. And following that model, we are very interested in establishing a depot district for Elgin, Texas, in our downtown. What that means when you have a social district is basically, it's like having Sip, Shop, and Stroll on the daily, but without it being a special event, without there needing to be a variance called, without there needing to be any extra staff hours or any action on your part. What it would enable businesses to do, it would be to have adult beverages to go, not in glass bottles, but it's something that someone could take and walk out, just like you see in Fredericksburg when you see folks walking from one winery place to the next, and they're shopping in the next shop, and they're doing all of that through. It's not a party district, but it is social, exactly as it is entitled. The reason we think this would be such a great thing for us in Elgin, Texas, is because it invites people to stay and play. And honestly, when people are staying and playing, they're also paying. And when they are staying, playing, and paying, then we are investing in our community and in our town. We're bringing the dollars in and we're keeping the dollars here in downtown. Let me give you a little bit of history on this proposal. It was brought to the Main Street Board by Promotion and Tourism. We reviewed it. On the Main Street Board, as you know from having made the appointments, we have moms and dads and business owners. We have event planners or volunteers, and all of the people on that board are proud Elginites. And through that lens, we asked some questions. We asked questions. Will it remain family friendly? We think yes. And we think yes from having looked at the results and what is happening in the climate and atmosphere at sister cities who are doing exactly the same thing. Another question, gosh, does it increase alcohol-related incidents? We think no. And we think no based on observations not only of the sister cities, but of information that came to us from our very own chief of police in looking at the data in alignment with Sip, Shop, and Stroll. There's not an increase in those alcohol-related incidents. So we were able to kind of tackle a couple of the concerns that we had there. So we had some more discussion. We gave our feedback to the Promotion and Tourism Committee. They then took it and have shared this idea in different places and have taken feedback in order to continue to revise the proposal. And what you have in front of you and what is on the screen, I think, can we go to the map?
Yep.
Look at that, is the proposed area for the depot district. As you know, we are centered downtown and we do have our depot. And if you look carefully, it's a really cool looking shape. I like the purple outline, that's cool. It would come down Main Street and it would come down to just on the other side of this parking lot. And it would go Main Street over across to Central Avenue, beyond Central Avenue, and it would also loop back and it would catch what will forever be Laren's. I don't know what it's called now, but it's going to be a place. But Laren Morgan's, if y'all know, if you know, you know, right? So that would also be incorporated. So we're really looping in the businesses that would be impacted, that would be supporting this, but we also are including support for all of the retail businesses because, again, when people come and they stay and they play, then they pay, and then they're there to shop. We have talked about many, many things. We've thought about many, many things. And the bottom line is that we, as Main Street Board and citizens, most importantly, citizens of Elgin and shoppers downtown and utilizers of this district and of this community, we believe this is good for our town. We believe this is something that would be a good step for all of us here. If you take a look in your packet at pages 7 and 8, you'll see the benefits of creating a social district. The bottom line, we're enhancing quality of life, giving us an opportunity to come out and hang out and be together and enjoy some space. The economic growth and vibrancy, again, the holes come and stay and play and pay. And we want to make sure that when it says that preserving architectural heritage, that's because we're going to have some dollars we're able to invest. When we're able to have the income coming in and we've got that tax that's coming in and we have all of those things, we're able to utilize that to help to conserve and preserve our beautiful downtown. It capitalizes on our cultural appeal. It is an opportunity for people to share across divides, and honestly, we feel that it's a win-win. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We get to the thank you part. There you go.
Oh, there's the thank you. Okay, so here's my final thing, my final why. Your notepad, your packet doesn't look like mine yet, but it might. It's family-friendly, safe, busy, thriving. That's our goal for downtown. When we have everything happening that we do, that's our ultimate goal, and this is one piece of being able to achieve that goal. Thank you very much.
Krista, can we just clarify a couple things?
Of
We're going to
course.
try to ask questions if the council has any. One, to create this district formally, it'll take an ordinance by the city council, so we'll be bringing that back at a future date. One thing, I should know the answer before I ask the question, right? But I'll ask it anyway. This is beer and wine?
This is
Or-
beer and wine. This is, and the hours are in here, I believe, from 10 to midnight?
But
10 to
the-
midnight. Thank you.
10 a.m.
Yes.
Are we looking in the daytime?
Well, brunch, you know, brunch. Brunch is a thing. Brunch is a thing.
But this won't apply to liquor.
To, I see,
To alcohol.
I'm looking, oh, to alcohol, yes.
It does? Or
So
that
you can have a
pertains-
screwdriver while you're walking down the street? Or like a mimosa. Mimosa's
Okay,
champagne.
Can't do that?
That's- yeah, that's-
That doesn't
Bubbly
impact
wine.
the license of the individual businesses? No re-entry, okay. That's,
So,
I knew we talked about it, I couldn't remember the answer, so thank you, just to clarify that part. And obviously, we'll continue to massage this. The point was to let folks know about it. We've interacted with businesses downtown, so we want everybody to have an opportunity to comment on before we bring it back for council to vote on. So that's why we asked Krista to come tonight. So either now or later, you're obviously available for questions. Amy's been involved in this, Veronica from the chamber. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to let us know.
thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, but
Go ahead.
it don't need to be answered right now. Chief, are you expected to have some more roving patrols or something to take care of if this gets approved?
This is me looking to the people who have the answers to the questions.
Well,
Our overhead increase in patrol.
That being something we have to work in, as we adjust, as we work through the process of getting the ordinance established, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, any type of additional foot patrols or anything of that nature would certainly be on the table.
Want to be on the table, that's all.
well, this is something we've talked about, and I would just say, if this creates an environment where we think we need more police patrols, then we're gonna rethink it, right? So it's not our plan that this will mandate more police, because it's, right? I mean, if that, we all recognize that if that would turn into a problem, then we're gonna step back from doing it. And again, remember, council is gonna approve this by ordinance, so the council would have the ability at any time to withdraw that ordinance as well.
And I will say by listening to the radio, they're downtown a fair amount, so, already.
All right.
Do you have a question, comment?
I mean, I just want to thank everybody who's worked on this, the Main Street Board, the Tourism Chamber. I've participated, I think I probably have some phones when my son was learning to crawl on the courthouse square in Georgetown. I think we were there on a Sunday afternoon, and I may have had a beer in my hand. So anyways, I've seen this not only in Texas cities, but also in other cities as well, who are trying to keep their downtowns vibrant. And so I definitely welcome the idea.
Thanks, well, we'll get a chance to discuss it again in the future. Next item on the manager's report is another presentation. We have another exciting thing to report on about a public art project we have happening as part of the Veterans Memorial Park expansion that Amy is going to report on. I'll just say, I'll steal a little bit of her thunder and say that we think we all know we have a widely, nationally, world-recognized artist that lives here in Elgin, Margot Sawyer, and although she lives here and has been part of the community, we've not figured out a way to tap into her talents and create something for public art that comes from one of our local citizens. So, but we've worked that out now. We're excited about that, and Amy's here to report on that as being part of our new Veterans Park project.
Mayor and council and Tom, it's great to see you guys tonight. Thanks for making time for this. So in Veterans Park, this is the overall map that shows you the kind of the black and white layout of the park. So you've got Avenue C, you have the large playground with the train, and that's the part that's most vertical right now that you can really see the installation. You have a lot of activity happening with the sidewalks that are being built. There's that curve through the middle, and it continues into the next block with Block D, which is some additional seating. But in the little red cloud on your screen there, that's your outdoor classroom stage area. And that part of the stage has a wall in it. And in the base contract, that is a concrete block wall, and it serves some really mechanical functions. It has the electrical, it has the irrigation panel, it houses functional things, and it also does serve some acoustical purposes. And at the moment, it's just a concrete block wall. And when you look at this drawing, this one is here to help you see that if you're standing on Depot Street with the police department behind you, you'll be looking at that is what you will see. And it's a curved stage area, and the wall is more than 2/3 of the way back. And that is from about 10 days ago. There's actually a lot more concrete in this picture today, where they've started pouring the piers and the stage itself is coming into play. But that wall has the opportunity, is going to become a public art wall. And so let's talk about Margot for a minute. I think that's next. Margot moved to Elgin in 1997. She leased property downtown, and we were about 7 years into our downtown revitalization effort at that time. When she moved to Elgin, she moved into a building that W.C. Estes was renovating, and at the time that she was looking at the lease, the sidewalks had not been repaired, and it actually really wasn't accessible to even get to the space where she was going to live. But artists are renowned for their vision, and she certainly believed that this little town was going to make good on its revitalization efforts. And ultimately, she bought a building downtown. She has her studio here. She lives here, and she's a professor at UT, a sculpture professor. The first drawing showed her work that's been installed in Kosovo at the American Embassy. It's part of the Art in the Embassy program. This is an example of her work when she does temporary installations where in the specific space that she's been asked to do work, she creates an installation with objects there. And then in the next one, you can see her work at the Austin Convention Center, and this is a permanent installation there where she uses custom crafted metal boxes in various colors, and again does an overall abstract interpretation with that for that space. And that is scheduled to be moved to the new convention center when that happens. So on Margot's part, Tom did share some that she's been recognized as Artist of the Year. She's a Guggenheim Fellow. She has many accolades. And on our next piece, some of the work that she is probably most well known for is in Discovery Green in Houston. And so these are, again, taking a functional thing. This is to access the parking in the public restrooms and making it really amazing, beautiful art that is in your community for you to be a part of. I think we have one more slide that shows they did red interpretation and a blue interpretation. And so in visiting with Margot about this wall opportunity, you all know that we're the brick capital of the Southwest, and Elgin Butler Tile is on the east side of town, and they make, their bricks are all the colors of the rainbow. And so she has wanted to do a project with Butler Tile. She's worked with it before for other things. She had a vision that fit with being able to do this brick wall in Elgin. And so I'm going to pass out hard copy, because we haven't distributed this electronically yet. And this is the wall for Veterans Park. And so these are the Butler tile. They're standard size brick, and then they're 4x4 square tiles. And it's both sides of the wall that will have this artistic color interpretation. Now, I do have a couple disclaimers. This is just a color copy from the office at the Fleming Building. These colors are not, true to exactly what the Butler tiles will be. Butler is donating the brick for this project, and so there will also be some adjustments and fluctuation based on what's available. And on Margot's part, she will supervise the project and work with the mason to ensure that the final piece of art reflects the original intent and the design. Now, you have a public art plan, and that is what got us to this presentation. And so glad I have my phone turned off. In our public art plan, what do we look at when we've done other public art downtown? We had the Black Icons mural that the Elgin Main Street Board did for the sesquicentennial. You have the Horned Lizard mural, which was one of the first. This is essentially our first piece of sculpture downtown. But when we're looking at what guides art, we look at supporting local artists, businesses, and property owners. The artwork needs to be accessible to the public. It needs to illustrate the strength of the artist's concept, as demonstrating technical skill, experience, and artwork that's appropriate to the architecture, where it's being placed, the cultural and historic setting. It needs to have a feasible budget and timeline, qualified participants, and demonstrate unique artistic expression. The project has been reviewed by the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, and they approved it wholeheartedly. The Main Street Board, the design team for Main Street, and the Historic Review Board. The Historic Review Board looked at it twice. They looked at it at the beginning of March in a design concept, and then they had another meeting at the end of March where they received the drawing that you have that illustrates this is the design that would be put in place. And so all of those entities have approved it, and we have been doing some private fundraising to support the additional cost of this because it is more expensive to use Butler tile, and it is more expensive to do such a variety of color and placement, and there is cost associated with that implementation. But at this point, we believe that we've got all our private sector pieces in place to help support that. In particular, Downtown Elgin, Inc. and the Friends of Elgin Parks have both made significant gifts to help get it going. And so, do you have questions?
Amy, again, in the clouded area here, that's where the wall will be, right?
Yes, the red cloud is around the wall itself, and the wall is 8 feet high and 20 feet long. And you'll see it'll be a mirror image, so whether you're on Central Avenue looking towards the park, you'll see it, or if you're on Depot Street standing in front of the police department, you'll see the wall.
And so it'll, so at that placement, it actually becomes a standalone piece of art, but also will function as a back wall to the stage as well.
Right,
So
it
it's a great-
continues to have its functional purpose, and the side of the wall that faces Central is the side that has the irrigation panel and the electrical and those functional things, and Margot's accommodating for that.
And so we won't, unfortunately, this won't be done when the park's done.
Yes, it will.
It will it?
Yeah,
Yay.
the expectation
You said that definitively. Okay.
well, we have a general contractor to cut loose so he can go do
That's
some more
exciting.
awesome work in other towns. And so on our part, Butler is currently collecting the tile. Margot's gone through and done all the counts. We expect this to be installed by early May, perhaps sooner.
And this is, just for the record, the council, under our rules, the council isn't required to vote on this. We followed the process to have the other groups review it. We're all on the same page. I think it's really an exciting project and is really coming together and will be a great, once the park's all done, this is going to be a great companion piece to the African American icons mural we have. And we're suddenly having some real art and culture here in
Right.
So
Well,
we're
and the other
excited.
tremendous thing about doing public art in the community, and the reason we put a public art plan into place in, I think it was 2018, 17, is because this is what puts art with all of us. So you don't have to figure out how to get to downtown Austin to the Blanton, or over to far west Austin to Laguna Gloria, or to the galleries, et cetera. We are blessed to have the Clever Tiger Gallery in our community, but public art is what puts art right there, and you're allowed to touch it, you're allowed to take your picture with it, you can have your child learn how to crawl in front of it. It's meant to be, it's your living room, and that's what our downtown is. It is this place for all of us to get to be and to have amazing things like this that we can go enjoy any day without any special expense or effort or hassle on our part.
And we can drink beer while we're down there looking at it.
Hopefully. And so you guys will see, we'll have a contract related to this for your next meeting, but the project itself is here and underway.
Thanks, Amy. I'm excited.
Amy, quick question, help me remember, that pavilion, that area, it's not covered, right? So this is the only upright piece, or is it?
No,
a
it has,
pavilion type covered?
it does, it has a cantilevered metal canopy.
Okay,
So it will be a shaded space as well.
super. Okay.
I'm excited. It sounds great, but probably of even more significance is that Butler got included in it because of the rich history that
Yeah.
brings to Elgin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we'll definitely have some interpretation for the wall that shares the Butler history in the community, as well as Margot's artist background.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. Love bringing more public art here. And while you're here, Amy, ask about timelines for two parks. So how are we doing? How are we doing with veterans?
So Veterans Park is on time, it's on schedule. We aren't saying a date yet, but before early summer.
Okay, I like
Okay.
that. All right. And then I did swing by Thomas this week, and I did see them starting to put some upright structures.
Yes, Thomas is officially under construction. If you haven't been over, go check it out. We don't have a date for when that will be finished, but that one will be finished, I would expect, before.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
okay,
Thanks, Amy.
thanks you.
Okay. Next, we're going to recognize Gladys Ward. And, yeah, right, y'all been waiting for that.
If I can do an addendum, the funding for the funding sources for the public art wall, I misspoke. It's Elgin Main Street Board that has provided financial assistance, and Friends of Elgin Park. So the Main Street Board that just brought presentation for the Depot District has provided financial assistance, and the Friends of Elgin Parks. And I apologize, just wanted to come back and make that clarification so that it's on record and clearly stated the two entities that are financially participating. And now, my favorite council member, Gladys Ward.
We have someone from the Bastrop County, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Where are you from, the Bastrop County? No, Juneteenth, MLK, let me get it right, MLK Commission, whatever, all of that.
Hi, thank you all so much for allowing me this small opportunity. I know you guys are super, super busy, but my name is Pamela Noel, and I am the chairperson out of Smithville for the Bastrop Martin Luther King Holiday Commission. That's Bastrop, Smithville, and Elgin. And I know that the weather froze us out because we were hosting this year, but we had such grand plans for everybody. And we were really looking forward to everybody coming out and supporting this year. But what we decided to do over in Smithville was to basically, because it was 35 years that the organization had been in existence. And so what we decided to do in Smithville was to basically, if I could have the other parties in Elgin come up, please. There's some groups in Elgin that are here, if you don't mind coming up. We're going to pause for a minute for the right reason. But originally, 35 years ago, it was Doc Jackson, Miss Gladys Ward, and Miss Clinton Wright, who sat down together and came up with an idea. And the idea was to continue to remind everybody of what Martin Luther King stood for and what his purpose was and the reason why he and others along with him took a stance. And so that plan grew and it evolved with a lot of people from Elgin, a lot of people from Bastrop, and a lot of people from Smithville. So again, we have presented plaques out to those parties at the City Council in Smithville. And these plaques, and I know she's coming, I'm just trying to find some spacers here. I'm trying to find some spacers here, so please forgive me. These will be housed in Smithville at the Smithville Recreation Center. Just to signify and to show the support and the tenacity and the will that these three people had, which became infectious to everybody else, to just remind everybody that it is just not about a color, it is not about a race, it is about inclusivity. It is about everybody coming together and working together and trying to allow this organization to broaden and spread its wings to say, hey, we're here, we want to grow, and we are a part of the communities here in Bastrop County. So tonight, I would like to present to Miss Gladys Ward, who was one of the original founders. If you could come up for me, please. And originally, you know, when they were calling her name out, I could not put a name with a face. But when she walked in, I said, oh, I know this lady. I know her. But Miss Ward, you are a treasure. You are just a diamond. And if it had not been for you, the Bastrop County MLK Holiday Commission would not be in existence. And thank you for your thoughts and your tenacity and just pointing everybody in the right direction. So this, and we have to make sure we get some pictures for Doc Jackson, okay? Yeah. This is being presented to the Honorable Gladys Ward, and the theme this year was Continuing the Dream, Bastrop County Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Commission, MLK, for their diligence and dedication to constitute the inaugural Bastrop County MLK Jr. Holiday Commission celebration and your support and sponsorship of this event. It would have been presented on the 15th of January, but of course God saw fit for other things to happen. So we want to present this to you and let you know how special you are. Yes, ma'am. You are very special. And we just want to let you know that this, along with the plaque for Miss Clinton Wright, and along with the plaque of Doc Jackson, will be posted in Smithville at the Smithville Recreation Center. So anytime and every time people come through, they will be able to see who the first starters were when it came to building the dream and continuing the dream. Can we give her a hand? Do you want to say something?
Well, we're not through yet, hold on. I gotta put my little bit in there. Is she gonna talk to me?
I'm gonna do, yeah, I know. I'm gonna get it. I am just so grateful. It takes all of us to get it done.
Yes, ma'am.
It does. It takes everybody to get it done.
You're gonna make me cry.
I know, but it does. And, it's a prank. I'm sorry. That's-
Wait,
Okay.
wait.
Okay.
Gladys, I think that the mayor has
The
something
mayor
else
has
that she
something.
wants to
Oh,
Whenever
okay,
that takes-
okay. Okay,
So this lady, along with Murtis Thomas, is the reason why I'm standing here.
okay.
They started me in this wonderful journey.
Yeah.
They were both on the council, and I had to replace somebody. I don't even remember which one I replaced. We're gonna go with this. So
Okay.
it's very fitting that I'm the one to give this to you tonight. I am so proud and happy to do that. Whereas Gladys Ward served on the city council from 1981 through 2002, and whereas Gladys Ward is one of the founders of the Bastrop County Martin Luther King Holiday Commission Walk, and whereas Gladys Ward helped in founding the Martin Luther King Holiday Commission Walk 35 years ago, and whereas partners of Bastrop County Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Commission recognize the Honorable Gladys Ward, and whereas Gladys Ward was recognized for her diligence and dedication to constitute the inaugural Bastrop County MLK Jr. Holiday Commission celebration. How many times did we say that? Their support and sponsorship of the event. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Teresa Wygant, Mayor of the City of Elgin, do hereby recognize and salute the contribution of Gladys Ward for her dedication to all she has accomplished. In witness whereof, I have hereto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Elgin, Texas, to be affixed this second day of April 2024.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, okay. Oh, so,
Now you can sit down.
You want to take a big picture? You think? We can. Get everybody up and take a big picture.
Okay,
That's
everybody.
fine.
Okay. See how quick we can do this. Y'all know how we can have all the meetings. Come on. Come on, everybody with glasses. Come on. Everybody. Oh, you want to get the whole room? Well, maybe we should have went that direction. Which way you want to go?
Anybody that came here tonight, see Miss Gladys?
Okay, I'm on. Hey, y'all come on. We all want to have some type of lawsuit on us.
Oh, it's chilly in here.
It's cold. I'm about to go put the heater.
Don't tell Amy, 'cause I
You're
already
gonna
saw.
eat in a minute and be all right. You're gonna get some food.
Okay.
Amy.
I actually brought
She,
my.
they're all complaining, it's cold. I told Amy it's cold.
It is cold. And no, I'm gonna make cold. It is cold.
You're cold, it's cold.
It's cold. It was on 68.
Oh, that's what I.
It was on 68. Okay, now where are we? Go back to.
I think it's,
When did this last?
what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 62.
I got a couple
Yeah,
of
it had to be okay. So those of the 101 class, if you'll hang on just a little bit longer, we've got a celebration coming on. So I know if you want to party, uh, give us just a few more minutes and we'll have our stuff done.
I got just a couple quick things to end my report, Mayor, if I could. One is I just wanted council to know, we've talked about this before, and just want to make sure the council and the public knows about our development agreements with our various ETJ MUDs. As we know, the city won't provide services in that area, and particularly public safety, but we have made provisions in each one of these agreements to provide 2 acres of land free for any public safety agency that wants to come and build a facility in one of those MUDs. We'll work through the developer, just much like we did with the school in Harvest Ridge. What's new about this is that this week, for the first time, Harvest Ridge actually took the step to convey this land to the city in their case. So that means the clock is ticking in Harvest Ridge. The agreement says that, and we've contacted each one of these agencies previously, made them aware that this land is available. We have had some interaction with them, but we haven't had anybody come forward with any kind of proposal. I just want it to be generally known, we get those questions about what's going to happen with public safety in these areas that are outside the city. Well, our agreement specifically provides that once the land is conveyed to the city, the clock starts ticking on a 5-year period. So they have 5 years, somebody has 5 years to step up to the plate and say they want to take advantage of this free land. And for those of us that have been public service, you know, if you have no plan for a project and you're literally starting from ground zero and you have to design, fund, build, and operate, have fully operational a facility, 5 years is a tight time frame to do that. So this is just one of these things. We've done everything we can to let people know, but I want to make sure council knows and people know in general. Our land is a premium now, and this is an opportunity for somebody to step up to the plate and get free land for these agreements. But this is the first time we've actually had a developer convey this land to start this clock ticking. So just wanted to share that with everybody, so you know, if you encounter anybody, if you talk about this, continue to stress with them. If one of these groups is going to take advantage of that, we need to start talking about it right now.
Can I ask a question? This
Sure.
may be a dumb question, but I realize it's in the ETJ, but it's also right next to City of Elgin. Is there no way that the City of Elgin Police Department can use it?
Yeah, no, we have no jurisdiction. That's the problem.
So you can't even just park police vehicles there?
I suppose we could, but no, I don't think so, because that's not what the agreement contemplates. It says you have to operate a public safety facility, so.
And is it possible to go back to change that agreement for some, I'm just trying to see, it's concerning to me that none of these other agencies have expressed an interest. And I would hate for us to lose it.
Well, that's exactly why I'm continuing to talk about it. I agree. It's clearly each one of these agencies, you know, we're talking about an area that's gonna have 15,000 people living in it someday that is gonna depend on these entities for public safety services. The city has no services. You know, the part about the ESD we've talked about is literally the city, it has no jurisdiction. All citizens in Elgin pay taxes to the ESD to provide fire protection. They have an obligation to provide services in this area. So, so as usual, you're asking me a question that stretches.
The what?
It stretches the boundaries I hadn't thought of before. I don't think the developers are gonna want us to build a building just to park cars on. I mean, the old
Well,
purpose of having.
I didn't know if they could do like, again, call me naive, but police work and then drive the 2 blocks to where they get in the city limits, right? Just because like,
Well, again, that's possible. I suppose if your question is, we need to figure out some way to not lose that property, yes, I agree with that. So I think the other part is, even this 5-year time frame, if somebody would step forward and say, I have a definitive plan I'm ready to commit to, I just can't get it quite, I'm sure the developers will work with us, I'm confident they are. Because in the end, I think every one of them want this presence in their development too, but they're not gonna wait forever either. They're not gonna cut a hole out of their property and that they could build 5 or 6 more houses on and make money off of. So that's what we need. We need somebody to step forward with a definitive plan. But yeah, it was always contemplated that one of these would step up, and I guess I'm surprised we haven't heard. And literally, we've heard from them, and they know this is out there, but nobody's saying we want to take advantage of it.
I think too that the intent is that the entity that's out there would be serving that area, and we can't serve that area.
Right,
because
right.
It's outside of our jurisdiction, even if we were to gerrymander, you know.
Well, that's right, and the other part is always to remember, these MUDs, the city won't get any property taxes from. Every one of these agencies will receive property taxes from the people that live there, so that's why it's really their obligation to do it, but I hear you. You know, we may have to think a little
Can't annex the
harder.
road anymore, right?
What's that?
So we can't annex the road and go up there and annex that road.
No, not anymore, you're not allowed to do that anymore, Chuck. Anyway, it's more about, we can talk a lot about it later, but I wanted to make sure that you all know that, so if you help me encourage people to step up and put something on the table.
And that is in Travis, correct?
Well, Harvest has a little bit of Travis, a little bit of Bastrop, really both. And at 5:30 today or whatever, we got some really good news that we're gonna have a voting location at Elgin ACC for early voting and for our Travis County voters. They don't have to drive into Manor anymore to vote on Elgin issues, so we're excited about that as well. That's all I had, Mayor, unless anybody had any other questions for me.
Okay, so let's move to our consent agenda right now. And we have 11 items.
I can jump in on this one real quick, because we had 11 items again, and just to run it down, 2 are meeting minutes. There's actually 5 different, we talked about this earlier, about one part about the social district is we won't have to grant these waivers for every single event if we have that, but we have 5 different waiver fees or street closures associated with Western Days, Sacred Heart, and a holiday parade, routine payment for the station. We're retitling a position in the police department that's budget neutral, just changing the title of the position. Council has to pass, I think every year, is it every year, the conservation plan, Bo, or? We just have to, council has to formally approve a conservation plan that we've kept in place. So that's routine, and then the street improvement plan that we talked about earlier, so.
Anything needs to be pulled? Nope.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay. And we'll begin with Mayor Pro Tem.
Frazier, yes?
McShane, yes?
Kaznowski, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes?
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Dennis, yes?
Okay. New business.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, the 3 items for action on new business are all associated with the project we talked about earlier, Northside Meadows. This is an existing MUD that the city had, the council had previously approved and authorized, but is adding 10 acres to that development. I'm sorry, PDD, what did I say? MUD, I didn't mean to get it mixed up. This is in the city limits. Well, obviously, the first action item is to annex the 10 acres into the city. The second item is to assign it to a council ward. And then the third item is to approve the amendment to the planned development district. Again, this is the general location, again, on our previous maps, we've talked about it being Railhead, but they've changed to Northside Meadows. There's no significant changes in the development. I think it's worth, one of the main things that the council, or that we talk about is transportation and roads. So you've seen this map before, but this Northside Meadows actually plays an important part in this. Again, this is the County Line Road area where we're probably going to have 15,000 new homes built out in this area. The blue line is we're rebuilding County Line Road, paid for by developers, expanding it to a 4-lane roadway, paid by developers and a grant. The other road, which Bo told me today has a name, I didn't think we named it yet, but Creeks Crossing named it. They've built this road already in this location through Creeks Crossing. Briarwood will pick it up and build it to 1100, and eventually this road will make it all the way out to past and through Eagles Landing. So we'll have two north-south roads that are 4-lane boulevards, 4-lane divided roadways that'll carry traffic in and around the school campus. Again, all of those roadways will be paid for and built by developers or grants. And then the Briarwood development, and now with Northside Meadows, Briarwood is constructing the first phase of 4-lane road in this location that will go east-west all the way to Klaus Lane. A big section of that goes through Northside Meadows we talked about here today. So 4-lane roadways, both north and south, all paid for by developers. And then down the road, the Larson Track, the extension of the road through Harvest Ridge that goes by the school now, will provide other east-west opportunities for traffic all in this area. So just wanted to remind everybody, give them a snapshot that this Northside Meadows is crucial to us in extending this roadway, but we're on the verge of having a much improved 4-lane connecting roadways all throughout this area where we're going to see most of our growth. But this first item is to annex this additional 10 acres. I'll get back to that. This 10-acre piece that connects to Northside Meadows, but also to Klaus Lane. Let me see if I got that. Yeah, this is what. So this is what the new Northside Meadows will look like. Just adding additional housing has no material effect on the existing zoning.
Any questions?
No, this 10-acre lot's not gonna dump on Klaus Lane, so there's no change.
Right.
Whatsoever.
All the traffic will circle back. Now, eventually, this road here, this is called the Cano Tract. It will eventually extend this road to Klaus Lane. But not with this action tonight, doesn't have anything to do with that.
Are all the county line and then the arterials, do they all have sidewalks?
Yes, all the roads we're talking about will have sidewalks. Right. Obviously, the ones going through the developments, the developer will build those. We're building sidewalks all along County Line Road, so yeah, they'll.
That's in our program, right?
Right. And all will have underground, these won't be bar ditches, they're all gonna have underground drainage, and so it's not just be a wider road, but a dramatically improved roadway.
Okay, do I have a motion for number 1 for the annexing?
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
You got a question?
Hold on. I thought I saw it. I'm getting my pages messed up here, but it looks like they changed the PDD, that it was gonna be duplex, and now it's single family? Right. But is that because of this I guess that is because of the annexation and that was already allowed in the PDD?
Correct. That's one of the changes is
less dense, adding the additional property that let them reconfigure to be able to fit in a single family and get a density that they were still comfortable with as opposed to a more of a duplex type subdivision out there.
And remind me of the parkland.
Parkland, in the PDD is similar to what it was before. It's gone through the Parks Committee. They're paying the fee per lot essentially into the parkland fee. It's $800 per residential lot.
That was it.
Okay. Love,
I'll make a motion to approve.
okay. Yep, Chuck, second. All right. We'll begin with Love.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Dennis, yes?
Frazier, yes.
McShane, yes.
Kaznowski, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes.
Okay. Now on to number 2.
This is, now that we've annexed that, we need to assign it to council ward. This is, seems obviously at this point we'd add it to council ward 2, so that's what this action will do.
Chuck made the motion, I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any? Before I just put that down.
It was nothing to discuss.
Can we flip a coin to maybe get it into Ward 3?
All right, so we've had it moved in second, and so we'll begin with Swain, sorry.
Swain, yes.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Dennis, yes?
Frazier, yes.
McShane, yes.
Kaznowski, yes.
Gibson, yes.
You got item, and then, Mayor, the third item is, again, to approve the modifications to the existing PDD ordinance and development agreement to accommodate what we've discussed earlier. This is the original approval development, and as we showed earlier, this will just add that section at the end. The other part is ask about Klaus Lane too. As you can see, there'll be no roadway from this section going south either, so the section will be basically a big cul-de-sac, or more or less.
So it connects into Creek's Crossing.
I'm talking about the piece that
Oh,
we're
the piece
adding.
that we're adding, yeah. No interconnectivity with Class Lane.
So, again, it doesn't change anything.
No, on the package, we're put aside 15 foot for future expansion of the road if need be. Is that enough to accommodate a sidewalk if we need one?
That's based on everything that we've talked to with the county, what they would expect from setback there. And then they're also giving right-of-way to TxDOT on FM 1100 of what TxDOT's expectations are there. If there are any improvements required, like a decel, XL, or turn lane off of FM 1100, they'll be responsible for building that per TxDOT.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to pass the ordinance.
No, second.
Okay, we'll begin with Mayor Pro Tem.
Frazier, yes.
McShane, yes.
Kaznowski, yes.
Gibson, yes.
Swain, yes.
Love, yes.
Callahan, yes.
Dennis, yes.
Alrighty. So now, Jennifer, you can do the fun part. Do you have anything else?
Is there a
Nope.
chair?
Hmm?
Do they have a chair?
No, we don't have any announcements, do we, Amy, that we already?
Well, she just delayed the party a little.
You were supposed to say no. Yeah, you already gave everybody a big pile of papers up
I
here.
wrote. Now she gotta go see what-
Yes, ma'am. Oh, look, here, take this one. Yeah.
This is the spring issue of Downtown 78621. It will be landing in mailboxes this week, and the council's got sneak previews. So everything you need to know is definitely in here. And a big shout out to Sonia Browder for the graphic design work. We get to produce this in-house now because we have amazing staff at the city of Elgin. And this Saturday is the Pearls of Youth Art Show at the Clever Tigers. So come out and see what the kids from the Elgin School District have been creating. That is always a really cool special spring celebration. And you heard it's Relay for Life on Saturday, April 13th. So don't live under a rock. make sure you come and have fun. Councilmember Love and I are going to do a three-legged race version of it.
God. I might have to come see that.
But it costs you a lot to get to see that as a donation. And then I think, in general, we just want you to be sure you're paying attention, and if you haven't signed up yet to get the e-newsletter, you can do that on our website, and lots of cool information available, so just make sure you don't miss out.
We broke ground on the Trinity Ranch Elementary School today, the school district is, so that was exciting. We got that second project going as
Big,
well.
yeah, big day for Elgin ISD, another
that's great.
elementary school.
Thank you, Mayor. So our last item on the agenda tonight is
Wait,
to.
I have one announcement.
Oh.
I have one announcement. My birthday's next Wednesday.
And we won't be here.
And we won't be here.
For those who still
That's
have
it.
them.
For those who still
Is that a city holiday then?
It is.
Okay, great.
So y'all heard that, Chief? Tom said y'all off. Next Wednesday, April 11th. Thursday, April 11th, y'all off. City holiday is a new one. We're gonna put it in there.
So we're here tonight to recognize our second graduating class from the Elgin 101 Citizens Academy. We I think this was something the council's well aware of and been excited about. We started last year and had a really successful first class. And I just say for those that were in the class, you know, the pressure's on because, you know, we produced a council member from our class last year. So that's a tradition that's already set. So we're you know, Jennifer's taken the lead on this project from the beginning. Has done an outstanding job for us. So she's here as the dean, I guess, of Elgin 101 to recognize our graduates tonight. So. And as the mayor said, we appreciate y'all hanging around, but we wanted to save the food and the party for y'all, so make sure everybody hang around and help us with that. But go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Tom. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we had our second Elgin 101 class, and it went off so well. It was a very successful class, and I think they enjoyed it and learned a lot, and based on the evaluations and just comments and emails. So we had a wonderful time, and we're already looking forward to session 3 next year. So I'm going to call up the graduates and then the participants, and then we'll have the chair, Jessica Jaimes. She'll be given a brief little speech, and then we'll be done for the night and eat some food and enjoy some refreshments. So thank you all for allowing this to be possible. So first up, we've got Bo Godfrey.
Hey, Jessica, have everybody stay up here so we can take a group picture.
Yeah,
after.
yeah. Bernie Williams, he's not here tonight, but yay, Bernie. Daniel Tosiano. Cheryl Riggs, I don't believe she's here. No, she's not here.
There you go.
Norma Morena Six, she's here. Mark Sykes. Okay, now we're on to the participation. So the difference between graduation and participants, we just ask that if you want to graduate, you don't miss more than one session. If you're a participant, life happens, but we offer the participants, if they weren't able to make, if they had to miss more than one session, they can come back the next year and officially graduate. So So that's the difference, if you were wondering. Joan Miller, she is not here tonight, but yay, Joan. Janet Gudenkoff, she had to leave, but she was a participant. And then Beatrice Smith. All right, and then Jessica Hyman is our chair. Yeah, let's do a picture, and then they can sit down and then you can.
Right, send them.
Good job.
Well, hello, and nice to see all you guys. Well, I'll just keep it short and sweet. The Elgin 101 program was a very informative learning session given by esteemed members of our municipality. Over the course of 8 weeks, well, more like 12, 13, given the breaks that we had, we learned about new and promising developments in our city. We appreciate the time and effort given to us each session to answer our questions, no matter how big or small, and learning the order of operations needed to bring new and exciting expansions. We as a class appreciate the professionalism of each department representative that shared their knowledge. We are looking forward to sharing our knowledge and hopefully encouraging members of our community to volunteer and help grow our community as we enter a new chapter in our city. We'd also like to thank the City Council for the opportunity given to us. We really appreciate it. All right, well, I guess we can party now.
All right, it is 7:52 and we call our meeting. Did I scare you? I'm so sorry.